Top 10 Best Exotic Pets Killed by Their Owners. Have you ever longed for possessing an outlandish pet? Some have carried on with those dream lives and kept wild creatures as buddies. We have just disclosed to you some unusual odd anecdotes about the most abnormal pets on Earth. Be that as it may, abnormal and peculiar waking universes can prompt bad dreams. Lamentably, in the event that you longed for slithering on the rear of an abnormal creature, this rundown uncovers that those caring buddies have been killed multiple times. Number 10. Cassowary. The most perilous feathered creature on the planet is the cassowary, which pulls out both the emu and the ostrich for triumph. In spite of the fact that as tall as a cassowary individual, the genuine danger is drawing nearer to the ground. The flying creature has 10 centimeters 4 inches blades for the hooks on the closures of ludicrously groundbreaking legs. Kicking a cassowary can prompt gruff power injury and blood misfortune, the two of which can prompt demise. So normally, they are at times looked for as pets by outlandish creature gatherers. In Florida, a 75-year elderly person was a reproducer of these winged creatures, until one of them assaulted him in 2019. As indicated by authorities, he unintentionally tumbled to the ground and afterward assaulted the fledgling. It can arrive at rates of as much as 50 kilometers for every hour, 31 miles for each hour, and can hop 2.1 meters, 7 feet, without flying. This isn't the first run through a cassowary assault has stood out as truly newsworthy. In 2012, a man was pursued and caught by a cassowary on a slope over a pool in Australia. The winged creature at that point kicked him in the back. He endured, however, with wounds and a torn shirt. He didn't do anything to agitate cassowary but to be close to him. Yet, he chose to assault it at any rate. Number 09. Red Deer and Elk. Half-breeds. Paul MacDonald executed a red deer with the half-breed and elbow, a wapiti, on his homestead in Australia. Before Paul was assaulted in 2019, his family generally saved the unassuming creature for quite a long time. The unequivocal factor in the unexpected emotional episodes appear to be the hour of intercourse. The creature's hormones work. Red deer live for a very long time of the year as creatures. Yet for a very long time they enter a harsh period, which makes him more forceful and explicitly dynamic. As per Untamed Life research in deer, hostility is related with changes in testosterone. Consequently, trim and social detachment are helpful to forestall perilous episodes in creatures during mating. Shockingly, this creature was suddenly brutal notwithstanding being separated from other deer. One morning, Paul had gone to take care of a mixture breakfast when he heard a disturbance in the creature region as he assaulted his better half and child. His significant other attempted to intercede, yet she was harmed by the creature. Their child went to find support. Paramedics and police showed up and treated the injuries and terminated half and halves. Paul kicked the bucket from his wounds, yet his better half injured. She was taken to a clinic, where she recuperated after a few medical procedures. Number 08. Hippo. The feature was distributed in 2011 when Marius Els, a South African, was murdered when his pet hippopotamus called him Humphrey. Passing was huge on the grounds that Els and Humphrey showed up together in the media and in recordings to show their cordial bond. Recently, a video named My Pet Hippo, I Love Humphrey, was transferred to YouTube. He had been protected from the flood as a Humphrey calf. Around 6 years after the fact, Humphrey Els was chomped again and murdered. This isn't the first run-through. Humphrey has executed 1,179 kilograms, 2,600 pounds, of warm-blooded creatures. He had recently pulverized a few cows possessed by a colleague of Els. Els' companions purportedly realized it was a brief time frame before the fatal monster in Africa eliminated an individual. Hippos murder individuals consistently in excess of a couple of other imperiled species, including elephants, lions, panthers, and rhinos. Els got popular for doing awful deceives with Humphrey, particularly modeling for photographs while riding on the rear of a creature. At a certain point before Els' demise, he assaulted two guns he had passed by on the Humphrey River and constrained them to climb a tree for quite a long time and remain there. Number 07 Right pig followed macaque monkey. Monkeys may not be the most risky creatures on the planet. We regularly partner them with silly practices, for example, eating bananas and tossing dead pea. Be that as it may, monkey chomps can be savage, particularly in 2019 when a monkey from Malaysia bites through the principal supply routes. A 72-year elderly person and his child have been assaulted by their pet monkey while attempting to climb trees and get organic product. The child supported a neck injury, however, was articulated dead at the scene. The monkey was prepared to go to an alleged monkey school and gather coconuts from palm trees. Malaysian monkey schools train in animal groups called macaque with a southern braid to get this natural product to help the nearby economy. Monkeys have been prepared in this manner for in any event 100 years, and everybody is normally educated in a school for 2 to 3 weeks prior to finding a new line of work as a coconut pickle. The preparation starts with an interest in coconuts, urging the monkey to play with them. It at that point continues through stages that show the monkey's developments and order words. The monkey being referred to was too old to even think about training these creatures, which may have been the motivation behind why tutoring for this monkey was not all that fruitful. The child discovered his dad lying on their coconut branch and went to search for it when the monkey was assaulted. A neighbor heard the shouts and protected the child. Yet, for the dad it was past the point of no return. It isn't known whether the coconut monkey, who needed to reap, misconstrued his head or was in the mindset to chomp his neck for some other explanation. Number 06 Mountain bear. In 2009, a pet mountain bear named Teddy murdered its proprietor. Regardless of the creature's delicate name, this is definitely not an especially charming homicide. Kellen and Michael Walls lived in Pennsylvania, and Michael had recently been authorized as an unfamiliar pet vendor. When his bear slaughtered his better half, that permit had terminated. Already, the wolves kept different creatures in confines on their property. This incorporates the moderately little savanna felines and bears known as lions, tigers, pumas, panthers, and customers. Despite the fact that Michael got a creature license, it was Kellyanne who cleaned the mountain bear confine one Sunday night. To get the bear to sit, she tossed a canine food scoop on one side of the enclosure and cleaned the other. The bear assaulted her while she was cleaning. Kellyanne has been raising a bear for a very long time. Bear offspring are generally simple to deal with. In any case, specialists state that when a bear is around 4 years of age, any contact with a whelp will be crushed and fierce conduct will be uncovered. Regardless of endeavors, particularly in Russia, bears have never been effectively subdued. Despite the fact that they live quite a while among people, they are viewed as wild and capricious creatures. Number 05 Camel Theory. What might you give your significant other for her 60th birthday celebration? Jewelry, blossoms. Shouldn't something be said about an infant camel? It was a birthday present given to her in 2007 by Pam Weaver's better half. Weaver, who lives in Australia, is a previous creature admirer of goats, kangaroos, emu and bunnies. Having a camel in Australia isn't so bizarre. Numerous wild camels have occupied the landmass since they were acquired as pack creatures during the 1800s. Truth be told, there are over 1 million camels wandering the timberlands of Australia as an abnormally obtrusive species. They cause a huge number of dollars in harm to property consistently, which is a typical irritation. The pet camel is accepted to have pushed Pam Weaver to the ground and stomped on her body to death. The Pim camel was raised upon entering the world and was around 10 months old when the misfortune happened. As indicated by reports, the camel had recently displayed revolting conduct, for example, assaulting Weaver's pet goat. One specific master said that the unusual conduct was absolutely sexual in nature and that the youthful camel was attempting to participate in some type of intercourse. Indeed, the features, without squandering energy on their passionate torture, be announced that the lady had been killed. Number 04 Crocodiles. In January 2019, an Indonesian lady fell into an open-air region with an unlawfully kept crocodile named Mary. The lady's name is DC20 and she was the top of a Pearl Ranch research facility that produces magnificence items. These animals don't have a clue about their magnificence since they don't have a clue what a crocodile does on research facility properties. Yet, obviously, it was taken care of like a pet. 20 is accepted to have unintentionally fallen into the case. Or on the other hand, the crocodile hopped over a 2.4 meters 8 feet solid divider and figured out how to get to her. The crocodiles utilize their tails to take a groundbreaking jump toward push totally out of the swimming water. In certain spots, crocodiles are a famous vacation destination, constraining them to get meat above water and grab it up. When 20's body was discovered, Mary had eaten one of her hands and the majority of her mid-region. Police, armed force and preservation officials all came to eliminate the perilous and unlawful reptiles from the property. Handfuls were expected to sort out and complete a 3-hour activity to eliminate the Mary crocodile. She was then tied up in a level truck and taken to an untamed life salvage focus. Number 03 Elephant Slam. Lakan Verma is a legislator associated to an ideological group in India. The official image of the gathering is the elephant. As an assortment of activity, Verma kept elephants as pets. In 2003, the elephant started to carry on fiercely. So Verma carried him to the external corner of the town and attempted to quiet him down. From the outset it appeared to work, however then the elephant blew up once more. At that point, Verma assaulted the creature with the sharp iron pole on the brow. Observers detailed that the weapon wound up in the elephant's ear. At that point Verma lost his equilibrium and tumbled to the ground. The scared elephant squashed him and ran back to the town. Shockingly, for the terrible creature, the townspeople were prepared. They fired the elephant with firearms and fired him in excess of multiple times. Did the slaughter of their covers hurt the odds of the ideological group? Not really. In the following political race in India after the passing of the elephant and its proprietor, the MNC won the state get-together political decision by an uncommitted lion's share. Number 02 Wild Beast Nu, an African eland species frequently alluded to as the wall beast, gauges many pounds and develops enormous and alarming horns on the two guys and females. This doesn't block one man from keeping 3 pets in Indiana: grown-up guys, grown-up females, and grown-up conceived little guys. 9. In 2004, Klaus Dick Rudand was stomped on by natural life behind his home. A large portion of the creature's horns might have been spared by cutting off. However, in the end it didn't make a difference. The coroner said Wallbeast had gruffly struck its proprietor on the head and chest, possibly hit him first and stomp on him. What made the natural life have its executioner rage? It was the start of intercourse. He may have been extra forceful to keep Radin from being around his accomplice. Radin and his better half likewise kept teams, reindeer and other extraordinary animals on the homestead where he was executed. His significant other Radin's body was found after he understood that he had not gotten back from the stable for a long while. Apparently, She didn't respond well when she found that his body was not invulnerable. Truly, a crowd of Guinnesses is called powerful. At any rate, you can get this great thing out of this tragic story. Number 01 Dark Mamba snake. A couple in Putnam, New York kept around 75 snakes in their home, including a dark mamba. Dark mamba is viewed as the second deadliest snake on the planet, dependent on its venomous neurotoxin power. Obviously, winds didn't meander openly among cupboards and furniture. They were contained in different glass aquariums and acrylic snake container.